Hi and welcome to today's vlog. Today I'm talking about my distraction box. My distraction box is something I've made recently in a bid to combat my stress and anxiety. I'm on medication for both the stress and the anxiety at the moment, but sometimes things can get a bit too much, thoughts can get a bit loud, so I decided to make myself a distraction box that I can get out and have a rummage through and play with whenever I'm feeling like things are a bit too much. So hopefully it will help me, and I really hope that it might help you if you get some tips or some ideas of things that you could use to distract yourself. Hopefully this video will give you some ideas. So the box itself is just a clear plastic box. This one came from, I think it came from the range. Neil used to keep Lego in it. He's recently sorted all of his Lego out, so he no longer needed the box, so I adopted it. It's a little bit of a sad and a boring box, and I think when I need to be distracted it's because I'm not feeling particularly happy or particularly great. So I've found a whole bunch of stickers. There's loads of different stickers there from all sorts of different places. Different pin makers. There's loads of stickers there, so I'm going to decorate the box at some point with stickers, just to cheer it up a bit, just to make it more of a, I look at it and I think this is a happy space, it's safe, it's easy for me to play with. Now alongside the box I've got some things that don't fit in the box, which are also really good for distraction. So the first thing is a tub of slime. Now this tub came from, where did it come from? Sainsbury's, I think it came from. Possibly Morris, I've got no idea. It came from a supermarket, but it's made by Nickelodeon. So I imagine there are tons of places that you can get it. I persuaded my parents to buy this big tub for me when we went to Blackpool recently. It is 500 grams of super stretchy slime, and if I remember correctly it cost £6. So here is the slime. It's the big old pile of it. It makes farty noises when you push it back into the tub. See? Beautiful. And it's really good. It's really calming just to push your fingers in there, because it's really cold. It's cold, it's slimy, it makes farty noises. Beautiful. So yeah, it's really a lot of fun to play with. Slime seems to be really big at the moment. Everyone seems to be making it. There are thousands of Instagram videos you can watch where people are playing with it. And a lot of people find just watching the videos of people playing with slime really therapeutic. And there are people that make really big business just out of playing with things online to make people feel better. My very good friend Stacey recently made some slime with her daughter. So Stacey and Josie had a slime making competition. I think that Josie won. And yeah, they basically made some slime. So I will link the video in the comments so you can go and have a look and see how to make your own slime. But it is easily available to buy in hundreds of places. Etsy is a really good source of slime. Amazon, you can buy it. A supermarket, apparently you can buy it in now. There are loads of places to buy slime, and it is really therapeutic to play with. So yeah, I would definitely recommend you grabbing some to help you with anxiety. So another item I've got that doesn't fit in the box is this giant Slinky. Now, it's rainbow coloured for a start, so it's quite beautiful. And I find just the motion of this and the noise it makes, and I have to focus, I have to concentrate on doing it, but not too much. And I find this really helpful. It's a really good distraction to play with, and it's so pretty to watch. It's mesmerising. So I found this really useful, and it's so big and it's so fun. You can't help but smile when you get it out to play with. I can confirm it does go downstairs, alone or in pairs. So Slinky's, this one came from Amazon, was I think £3. Again, just search on Amazon for Slinky. There are thousands of choices for you to buy. Yeah, this one, again, it's just something simple. It's something cheerful. It's a beautiful colour. It's really big. It's really tactile. I find it really therapeutic. The other thing that I've got in the box are some spares, so I'll leave those and I'll show you what's in the box now. So first up in the box is this squishy stress ball. This again came from Amazon. I think it was about £1, if that, and it's filled with those aqua beads, like water beads that fill up with water and become squishy, and then it's all encased in sort of inside this ball, so you can give it a good squish. It makes a really nice noise. It's soft, it is squishy. Yeah, and stuff like this, I mean, stress balls have been around for years, haven't they? You've always been able to buy executive stress balls, so this is just another stress ball, really. I find it easy to sit and squash. It doesn't take any concentration, and having something in my hand, something to do with my hands, makes me feel a lot less anxious. It can be really calming. So stress balls of any kind are a really good tip. Now I've got a few different kinds of stress balls. This one has a little rainbow on the front, and this one came from Claire's Accessories. I bought this in the Claire's outlet store. It cost, I think, about £2, if that. I honestly can't remember. And it's filled with, I think, sand, it feels like, inside. I'm not really sure what's inside it, but it's so nice and easy to squish. You can, again, just play with it. It gives your hand something to do. It's tactile. This one comes on a keychain, so you can clip it to your keys, so you can take it out and about with you on the go. It feels pretty durable. The material around the outside feels a bit like a rubber balloon, and then some sort of substance inside that makes it really easy to squash. Again, it's tactile. I think that's what it's all about. I've also got this big strawberry squishy. These are a bit like the squishy toys that are all the rage at the moment, but this one is filled with some sort of like jelly slime. So if you see it, you can see it when I squeeze it. It's just filled with like a goo. It's shaped like a strawberry. Again, it's really nice to squash. You don't have to think about it. You can just sit and give it a squeeze. Gives you something to do, gives your hands something to do, keeps your hands occupied. Ideal. I've got another type of stress ball. I've got quite a few of these. This is just one of these. You've probably seen these around a lot. They seem to be sort of some of the in kids toys at the moment. The strawberry and this one I picked up on Fleetwood Market when I was in Blackpool the other week. There will be a blog post coming about Fleetwood Market soon, so check out www.estellosaurus.co.uk for my blog post on Fleetwood Market. Again, this is just a tactile rubbery toy. This one is actually filled, I don't know if you can see it, this one is actually filled with glitter, so it's quite pretty to look at. And again, like all the others, it is tactile, it is easy to play with, it's easy to hold in your hand, it's small so you can transport it around with you should you need to. These, I had loads of these when I was a kid, like really big ones. They're sort of elasticy, so the little things stretch out, and it's basically just like a load of elastic prongs. I got, these were I think £2.50 for the whole bag of them. So I got a big huge bag full, there are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in slightly different colours. I'm keeping the rest as spares, and I've got one out. And again, because it feels kind of spiky, it's really nice to just rub in your hands. It feels really nice to rub in your hands. It's really calming. And again, it's just doing something with your hand. It's taking your mind, it's taking you out of the moment and just helping you feel a bit less stressed. And because everything's so brightly coloured and silly, I think that's really helpful. It can really just pull you out of a funk. It can really sort of ease your anxiety a little bit. And I think anything that is safe and helps has got to be a good thing. So these spiky balls, again, you buy them on Amazon. I'm sure there are thousands of places you can get them, but Amazon seems to be my go-to. You can buy it all in the one place. In the box as well, I've got a mini tub of slime. This is unicorn poo. And again, it's a silly little thing. It's just sort of, you know, your typical slime. It's all squished into the pot. It's good to play with. You can pull it out of this tub. There's not very much of it, so it's easy to pull out. Play with it in your hands, and just distract yourself. This also came from Fleetwood Market. Or did it? No, I lie. This little tub came from my brother's sweet shop, and if you head to my blog, you can read my post all about my brother's sweet shop. Yeah, this is where that came from, and it's tactile. It's something to play with. It's something really silly. You can shove your finger in it, make a farty noise, take your mind off whatever's bothering you for a couple of seconds. Ideal. The other thing that came from my brother's little shop is this mini Slinky. So obviously this is sort of quite a different size to the one I showed you earlier, but it's the same sort of thing. It does work on the stairs, alone or in pairs. Everyone knows it's Slinky. It's just, it's so soothing to play with. This one is made with metal, so it makes a slightly different noise when you play with it. And I really like that noise. It's a little bit like Santa's sleigh bells, which is probably why I like it so much. I'm a big fan of Father Christmas. It's just fun to play with. It's fun. It's a distraction at the end of the day. Yeah, I really like that. That's a really cute little thing, and that one came from my brother's shop as well. I don't know how much that one was because I paid for this and a lot of sweets all in one go, so I'm not sure of the price. I do have a mini rainbow Slinky. Again, same sort of idea. It's the noise it makes, it's the motion of it, it's the fact you can hold it in your hands and play with it. Does work on the stairs. I have tried. It's just something to play with, and again, it's bright, it's cheerful, it will take your mind off the moment, so that's another really good little thing. I found these on Amazon as well. Amazon bringing it up there. I bought a huge bag full of these. I think there were about 15 in the bag, and they're just these stretchy, I don't know what they're made of. They're like rubbery, and you can just play with them. They're really stretchy, really durable. They remind me of Stretch Armstrong. You can give them a really good stretch. They're really tactile again. They're really nice to hold in your hands. They're just really fun to play with, and I really like them. They're just another distraction. These ones, you can tie them up in knots, you can tie them around your hands, you can stretch them, you can fling them back. They're like elastic bands, really. They're just a great little distraction. Again, this is what it's all about. This is what my distraction box, funnily enough, is all about. It's just distracting you from your own self, just making you feel less anxious, just helping to ease your stress levels, take your mind off whatever it is that's bothering you just for a few minutes. And sometimes it's just a few minutes that will help. So Squishies are really big at the moment. Simply Stacey's daughter Josie has lots of Squishies. I'm really jealous of a llama one that she bought recently. I picked this one up in Fleetwood Market. It's a unicorn cupcake, and it's you can squash it and it just pings back to its normal shape, its normal self. So these are really good. They're like foamy and squishy. You can buy scented ones. They come in all sorts of different shapes, and I know they're sort of like kids' toys, but just being able to squish them is really nice, and they feel really nice when you squash them. You can squash them really hard, and really take your frustration out on them just by giving them the hardest squash you can, and they will still somewhat slowly just bounce back to their normal shape. These are perfect if you are stressed. They're brilliant, I swear by them. I will be getting more to just have all around the house. I'll be taking them to work. They're ideal, they're perfect. I also got this cute Spacey Dinosaur one. He came from Amazon. Don't know how much he was. There is a set with 4 or 5 of these sort of squishy space coloured ones, and I think you can get a set of about 5 for £9.99 on Amazon at the moment, and you can have them prime, so you can have them delivered the next day as well, which is really good. And there's lots of different like themed ones. There's food, there's cats, there's unicorns. So not only are they a great kids toy and a great thing to collect, they're also so nice to play with, and like I say, you can really squash him, really take your rage out, your stress. You can really squash him, and the poor little chap just bounces back. And I think they're wonderful. They're one of the best things I've found as a distraction technique, actually. I'm really pleased with those. In my box I've also got another, this is for tactile reasons, this little, I think it's supposed to be a rabbit. It's an oddly shaped rabbit. His paws are in a weird place. It's purple, it's fluffy. It came from Fleetwood Market again. I think I bought 2. I bought one for me and I bought one for Amy, which is my brother's girlfriend. Oh, that was the cat. And I think they were 2 for a £5 if I remember correctly. Mine did get discovered by my brother's cat, and the cat did rip the back of the bunny open, which was a little bit mean. But this is just a tactile thing. It's really nice to stroke because it's so soft. The material inside his ears is different, so again, there's a different texture to play with. Just holding this in my hand just feels really nice, and I instantly feel I'm distracted by it. I really am. It is so soft. It's so nice to stroke. It is really distracting. It's really soothing. And I think in a stressful situation, just holding this for a couple of seconds really focuses your mind. It really pulls you out of that anxiety, makes you focus on the cat's coming to play. Hey Fig. Oh, that's Fig's butt. Hey Fig's butt. It really focuses your mind on the soft toy. So if you can get a little soft toy, and the softer the better, and maybe if it's got, as I say, different textures, its feet feel kind of suede-y, so again it's a different texture. And it's small, it's really nice to hold in your hand. Brilliant distraction technique. The other thing I've got is an executive toy. There are loads of things like this, and there were a huge big deal. Fidget cubes are a huge big deal, and it's a similar sort of premise. So it's a ball, a plastic ball filled with smaller balls, and the idea is you push the balls through. I can do it with one hand. You push the balls through into the empty holes. So there's an empty hole. You push the balls through into it. It makes a clicking noise. When you do it, you have to do it quite hard. You really have to focus on it to get the balls pushed through. You just push the balls through from one side to another. And they're also colour coded, so this can help you focus by having to put the balls into the right hole. So for example, there's a yellow one in the pink hole. So if I push the yellow one through and then push the pink one's now in the right place. And the idea is you go around the whole ball, putting the colours into the right place, and that can really take your mind off things. You're focusing on this, you're concentrating on the job. It's simple, it's tactile, it's really, really easy to play with. It's not so stiff that if you have problems with your hands you couldn't play with it. The noise is really satisfying. A lot of people do find noises satisfying, and like I said earlier, there's lots of YouTube videos out there and mini Instagram videos where people play with bubble wrap or play with marbles to make a noise, and people find those noises really soothing. So the clicking I find really soothing. And again, it's a toy, you can just push the balls into the right holes and it just takes your mind off. You're concentrating on something else other than your own anxieties for a few minutes. So I highly recommend this. This came again from Amazon. It was a couple of quid. It's really durable. It's small, you could fit it in a handbag, you could take it to work, you'd have it on your desk. It is cute, so it would sit quite nicely on a desk. And it is billed as an executive toy, so, you know, executive toys, they're grown up, I'm sure. So yeah, I really recommend this. The other thing I've got in the box is this tiny, tiny rabbit. This came from Fleetwood Market again. These are all the rage at the moment, very similar to the Squishies. They're huge in the Japanese and Chinese markets. They're just squishy, rubbery animals. I mean, I've got a bag full of them somewhere. You just squish them around a bit. You can buy them to stick on your phone to squish. You can stick them on your desk. They're so small that you can sit them on your desk and give it a squish in the day. It feels really nice. It's like rubbery. It feels almost slimy but not wet, if that makes any sense. They're really fun to squash and play with. The last thing I've got in my distraction box are these water beads. You might have seen these water beads around. These again seem to be huge in the slime making industry. Lots of people make slime and then fill the slime with the water beads. I've seen Instagram videos where people fill their jacuzzis and hot tubs with them. The idea is the balls start really, really small. Once you add water to them, they grow. They don't grow a huge amount, maybe sort of that sort of size, and they soak up all the water. So what I do is I pour a few into a tub. I mean, there are 42,000 beads in here. That's really going to keep me going. I pour sort of half a capful into a tub, into a plastic tub, add water, leave it for a few hours, and then all of the beads soak up the water. So there's no water in the tub. The water's all inside the beads. They've absorbed it. And honestly, running your hands into those wet, cold beads sounds weird, sounds gross, but it is so soothing. Even my husband stuck his hand in and said that he could see why it would be soothing, and he's quite skeptical of all this sort of stuff. So really good, and they last for a few days. You can keep them in the tub for a few days. I recommend throwing them away every couple of days because they go a bit manky. It's stale water after a few days essentially. So I recommend just chucking them away after a few days and thinking some more. This huge tub, and it looks small, but as I say, there are 42,000 beads in here. This would last you ages, and this tub cost me less than a £5. They're a really great, cheap way to have something in your bag, or not in your bag, you know what I mean, have something near you that you can make up to play with that will really just calm you down. And just running your hand through, and just what I was doing was putting my hands in the tub, I was pushing my hand under the beads, I was pulling them out, I was dropping them, and the noise they make as they bounce against each other is really soothing. Again, I think it's all about noises and how tactile things are. So again, highly recommend the water beads from Amazon, really cheap. I'm sure there are lots of other places you can get them. I think you can probably get them in toy shops because they do seem to be all the rage at the moment. They are not suitable for children under 3 years old, and they are a choking hazard, so just bear that in mind if you've got children and you buy any. So there we go, that's my distraction box. I'm finding some of this stuff really helpful. I am quite high anxiety, quite high stress at the moment, so anything I can do just to bring those levels down a little bit is a bonus. And all of the things in this box, in one way or another, just take me out of my head for a couple of minutes, sometimes even a couple of seconds, and sometimes that's all you need to stop yourself from going into a full-blown panic attack. So I really strongly suggest that you get yourself a distraction box. Put whatever's going to make you feel happier or make you feel less stressed in it. Put sweets in it, put chocolate in it, put a bullet journal, put a dream journal, colouring books, colouring pens, anything that is going to distract you and just take you out of your head for a minute. Just pop it in the box. Keep the box somewhere in your house, or have a little pack made up that can go in your bag so you can take it to work or to school. Just have something near you that you know will distract you, and have it nearby. Then that way, if you feel yourself getting stressed, you feel yourself getting anxious, you can pull it out and just play with it for a couple of minutes, play with it for a couple of seconds, and hopefully it will help. Hopefully it will calm you down for a little while, and even just a little while can just pull you out of it. So hopefully these tips would have helped you. They're not tips. Hopefully my ideas for a distraction box will have helped you. I'd love to know what sort of things you use to distract yourself. What do you do if you're feeling stressed and anxious? Do you have a colouring book? Do you read? Do you make a mess? I'd love to know what your tips and techniques for coping with stress and anxiety are, because I'm still learning what my triggers are and what can ease my triggers. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell to hear all about my adventures, and I will see you soon. Bye.